So you're vegan.
Yes.
You're an ethical vegan. And one thing that I know many people struggle with, but especially plant-based vegans, is protein.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering, as a vegan, how do you get enough protein?
Yeah, I will first say that in patients that are not suffering from like a chronic disease, like malabsorption or cancer, we do not see protein deficiency commonly in the United States.
This is also an unpopular thing to say, but it's so true.
It's so true.
It's so true.
There's protein in plants. People forget that. It is really something I have to remind people of once a year. There's protein in plants. And even the myths about protein combining are completely false, right? You get all of the amino acids you need from all of the different kinds of proteins. This isn't based on vibes, it's, based on trials. And so what do we know? Well, first of all, we know that you can get adequate protein on a plant-based diet, of course, but I will hedge to say that one of the things I'm really glad about not being dogmatic is that actually people say, well, since you're vegan, and since included in all of the guidelines and your own paper says a healthy plant-based diet can be recommended alongside a Mediterranean diet and a DASH diet and all those other plant-predominant dietary patterns, people say, well, why don't you push that? And I say, because actually, to be on a very healthy, well-planned plant-based diet takes a lot of planning, I think. And I actually think it's irresponsible for me to just tell everyone, just go vegan. Just because something's just plant-based. I mean, French fries and Oreos are vegan, right? So it doesn't necessarily equate to healthfulness, right? And so how do I get a good amount of protein? So first of all, how much protein do we need? So if you look at the RDA for protein, it's 0.8 grams per kilograms of body weight for the RDA, so the minimum amount. Now, I would say if you look at a lot of the nutrition science research, and I think the vast majority of scientists in this space will agree with this, probably a safer bet for a minimum would be 1 gram per kilogram body weight. But one thing that is very much agreed on and for sure is that if someone's eating 1.6 grams per kilogram body weight and they're eating all plant protein versus 1.6 grams per kilogram body weight and they're eating animal protein, as long as that person eating plant protein is getting 10 grams of leucine a day, which is super easy if you're eating tofu, tempeh, any sort of things.
Basically, any plant-based person would be eating those anyway.
Yes. The muscle protein synthesis is identical.
Yeah.
And so the truth is the best kind to eat is the one that fits best into your dietary pattern, but ideally is lower in saturated fat. I think that the misconception that I don't want people to have is that just abstaining from eating animal products equates health, because that's not the case.